want. This is what our body needs. So when you're here, so we need a meal to be able to meal it with. All right, y'all. Today we're gonna start a new series. And we're gonna discuss some things. So we have been on a mission to better our health, eat healthier, make better choices, all that good stuff. As we age, you know, the body change. I always talk about back in the days versus now. I'm always trying to figure out, why are we so sick now? Why are people so sick, and even our children are sick? So most people say, well, it's the sugar. Sugar isn't the best for us. It's not the best choice. But sugar is not our worst enemy. There are things that are way worse than sugar. So majority of us know we should target foods that are low on the glycemic index chart. Things that are 55-ish and below. Sugar sit around 59, I think it is. So it's not terribly bad, but it's not the best choice. Then there is white flour. White flour sit around 60-ish. I don't know my numbers right now, but 60-ish on the glycemic index. This is what spike your insulin levels. If you don't know what amylopectin A, B, and C are, we should look into those things so that you can familiarize yourself with amylopectin and where we should be targeting on the glycemic index chart. But then there is brown wheat. Most people they'll say, oh, I need to cut out white. I only eat wheat bread, meaning brown bread, which is worse. So what we found out doing our research is wheat bread sit around 79, I think, on the glycemic index, which is top of the chart. So what happened was, back in the days, in the 70s, a doctor hybridized wheat because he wanted to make wheat so that it was more sustainable for farmers to be able to grow wheat and make money. It's all about money. So what he did was he hybridized the wheat. Instead of it being tall and leggy and easy to break in the wind, he made it short and made it so that it would produce more wheat. Well, we all know that when you tamper with God's product, you create a mess. The mess doesn't always happen overnight. It takes time. So this happened in the 70s. In the 90s, it ended up in everything. And here we are in 2024. And all of us are suffering. High blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity, you name it, cancer. It's so much going on in the world. Inflammation. So, of course, we have been trying to tackle this naturally because we know God provided us with everything to live and survive. Well, even the wheat. Again, when man touched it, it was all about money. And it's not good for our health. Yes, he did get a Nobel Peace Prize for this because he created an awesome thing. But it's so bad for our system. It's just destroying us over time. So wheat is worse than sugar. So we've done our research and we found a grain that is the original wheat. And this is what we want. This is what our body needs. So when you hear people talk about gluten-free and all that stuff, this is what we going to. Gluten-free. This is an ancient grain. So ancient grains is what we should use. And you can get it in berry form or you can get it already in powder form. We want it as best as we can get it. It's not cheap. It's expensive. But this is the original wheat before man decided to come and fluff things up for us. So we are switching over to this einkorn, they pronounce it different ways, berries, which is an ancient grain. This is the original wheat. It doesn't spike your glucose numbers. It should help us when it comes to things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, because I really think it's from the wheat. If you think about it, most of us indulge in a lot of wheat, and I've even tried to make better choices in the flour I buy. White Lily, King Arthur, all of these different flowers. But it doesn't matter. All of these flowers that they offer us in our stores, majority stores, are low. It's that hybridized wheat, and that's what we need to get away from. And that's what we are here for today, to teach you how we gonna get away from this hybridized wheat for our health. Hopefully this will help you. Make sure you are subscribed so you can follow along. We're going to do a whole lot with this. My husband bought 25 pounds of Einkorn berries. With these berries, and I'll show you what they look like up close, we needed a mill. So this mill comes from Nutri-Mill, because we have to be able to make our own flour with these berries. So we need a mill to be able to mill it with. We'll start a sourdough. We're going to do so much with this thing, y'all. But I wanted to introduce this to y'all and explain why we switched over to this type of flour. It is a little bit more work, but I love me, I love my husband, and we love our lives. So we want to live as healthy as we can as we grow older. And this is why we're making this expensive, but so needed change for our life. Some of the benefits of this ancient grain. There are a few different kind of ancient grains. There's kamut, there's a spelt, there's a emmer, I think I'm pronouncing that right, grain. So there are different grains. We just chose this one. This is the oldest, meaning the original ancient grain. It's never been hybridized. It is totally natural. This has a different type of gluten in it, not that gluten that mess with our belly and mess with our health over time. So this has a healthy gluten in it. So this is one huge reason why we wanted to use this. High in antioxidants, protein, vitamin B6, vitamin A, and potassium, just to name a few things. We need these things. It is easy to digest. It's an amazing superfood. It's over 10,000 years old. We needed a mill so we could make our flour. And as the next few weeks go on, we're going to go ahead and start our sourdough. And we're going to use this flour, this grain. We're going to use this machine to make our flour to get our sourdough going. So again, if you are not subscribed or following the channel, make sure you follow along. Make sure your bell is on so you'll be notified when we drop new videos. But right now, we're going to dig in this bag, and I want to show y'all what this grain looked like. I just wanted to give you some backstory on what this is and what is it all about. And is it something you should look into? I think you should, especially if y'all like breads and cakes and pies and different things. You are better off using the best. You want your family to live a long, healthy life. And I wholeheartedly think that majority of our suffering is coming from, again, sugar isn't good for us, but it's not our worst enemy. There's something bigger than that. So let's get into this bag and see what this is. I think I'm going to make my husband some blueberry almond muffins today. My husband does have a testimony, and I'm going to let him share his story with y'all when he get ready. But his blood sugar levels did go up some, and the way we choose to control his blood sugar levels are through his foods, his eating. What is he consuming? So it's going to take a little bit more work to make sure he eating the healthiest foods. So let's look in this bag and see what this is. We're going to mill some because, again, I'm going to make muffins today. And catch us on the next video so you can stay tuned in tune with making your own breads. Again, we're going to start sourdough and see how many things can we create with this ancient grain. Let's check out these grains. Beautiful. So what I have here is 1 cup of ancient grain. I'm excited about this. And I have my Nutri-Mill. This is the first time I'll be using this, and it do come with all the instructions. I just have 1 cup of ancient grains for now. That's what we're going to start with anyway. I am going to eventually make some muffins today, so I may show you that at the end of this video. But I wanted to show you how this is done. So here I have my Nutri-Mill grain mill. This thing comes with all the instructions and a startup guide. So because we know we won't fine, I want to go clockwise. So I'm just going to turn it so that my grain will be fine. And I'm going to bring you closer so you can see this as it mills. Alright, so I'm going to show you this a little up close. So turn mill on before adding grain. And here it'll tell you fine or coarse. And then it'll give you a warning of what not to put in your mill. So it's simple. It has an on-off switch over here. It is kind of heavy. So here I have a bowl, my mill, and this is where I'm going to turn it on. It's a little loud. So now we have our flour, and that was so easy. It took about 45 seconds to do this 1 cup, but I just stood there and watched it. So I mean, who's counting it when the work is that easy? It's just having the right equipment. You can check out Nutri-Mill and all of their amazing products. I'll leave a link down below. They are running a special for Black Friday. This is the second week in November 2024. You should definitely check out Nutri-Mill. I mean, I think every household definitely need a meal, because this is how we save lives. This is how we keep ourselves and our family healthy. And that's what we want here at Black's Tropical, most of all, for everybody to be happy and healthy. So we brought it to you, a new way to be able to, and most importantly, don't let nobody steal your joy.